Well, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome to this top of the table clash in the New South Wales State League second grade. It's the visiting Baulkham Hills Kookaburras against the 8-1 top of the table Manly Eagles. This game could well decide who finishes first and who gets home ground advantage in the first week of the finals. Manly with the 8-1 record, Baulkham Hill 5-2. A win for the Eagles should pretty much lock them into top spot. Did make that call last 2 years ago, and it was mathematically that another team could finish first. So I won't make any grand suggestions with this one until I sit down and correctly do the maths, which I thought I'd done, but you never know. On the mound for the Eagles, starting things off is Leo Matsuo, and Tom Pello charged with the first at-bat of the afternoon. He's ahead, two balls and two strikes, so he's even in the count, not ahead in the count, 2-2. Only 2 wins so far in 2021, defeating the Cronulla Sharks and the Central Coast Marlins, both on the road. Last week's game against Greater Western was washed out, much like the away fixture earlier in the year. So Manly unable to face Greater Western at all this year in all 4 grades. And a big strike 3 for Tom Pello, first out here in the top of the first inning. Manly also washed out against Baulkham Hills earlier in the year, so this is the first matchup between the two teams. That's why this is a very important game for Manly to win, or not only lock up top spot, but if Baulkham Hills do finish in a tie with Manly, Manly will have the head-to-head tiebreaker for first spot and a home semi-final. First pitch to James Percival, moving away from Tom Butler. Tom Butler doubling up, started the 18s game at third base, now catching here in second grade. We'll bring you both lineups in between innings. Pitch on the outside corner for strike 1, now 1 ball and 1 strike. Umpires today behind the plate calling balls and strikes is Jeff Pettit, and in the field is probably one of the best umpires in the New South Wales State League, Jason Spurwaite, and I can only assume that these two will swap roles for the first grade game later this afternoon. Nice slider there by Leo Matsuo in for strike 2. It's a ball and 2 strikes now to James Percival. Leo Matsuo looking for his second strikeout of the day, and it's not a strikeout. Hopefully it's an out somewhere on the base paths. Swing and little bleeder back to Butler. Pick up and throw is high. Nice leaping grab there by Ash Roberts to prevent any further damage, and it'll be a 15-foot single to James Percival. That ball just coming off the end of the bat and away far enough from both Leo Matsuo and Tom Butler that James Percival can get himself aboard. Tom Roberts now batting in the 3-hole for the Baulkham Hills side. Inside, and James Percival will be able to move up to second base on the pass ball. Pass forward charge to Tom Butler on that one. Now the cloud has cleared for now, but there is plenty more left on the radar, so fingers crossed it holds off long enough to at least get this game in. That pitch down the middle for strike 1, so a ball and a strike now for Tom Roberts. fouled off, out of play. Counter remain 1 ball, 2 strikes. 7th appearance in second grade for Tom Roberts this season. Batting an even 500, 9 for 18, all singles, 4 RBIs, 4 walks and 1 strikeout. So good vision at the plate. Started Wednesday night's game at second base. That pitch in again, another slider from Leo Matsuo, fouled off again by Tom Roberts, and Jeff Pettit is already out of baseballs. It'll be a long day if we have to wait this long to get baseballs back in the game. Second 18's only just going 5 innings. Third grade only just going 6 innings. They did have a 25-minute delay, of course, of the rain. As soon as the covers came off at one point, the rain came out again. Covers are all packed away, nice and neatly folded, and the players had to run off and dig them back up and get them back out there once the second shower came across during that delay in third grade. Liam Matsuo now facing Tom Roberts, 1 ball, 2 strikes. And first ball, second, another slider from Matsuo to Zorn, throws it to Ash Roberts at first base, down and in the dirt. Tom Roberts moves pretty quickly up the line. Jason Spurway says, "You are safe," and that is another infield single for Baulkham Hills. James Percival moving up to third base. Tom Roberts now standing at first. And it's now runners on the corners with 1 out. And it's going to bring up Nick Chappell. Runner Roberts takes off to second base. Good strong throw by Tom Butler. Pulls it up a little bit short to keep Percival at third. So Roberts gets the stolen base. Runners on second and third. Now 1 out here, top of the first. Baulkham Hills threatening for early runs, much like they did in the under-18s game early today. And they're able to keep Baulkham Hills off the scoreboard for the first 2 innings in third grade before the rain came. They gave up the only 3 runs that Baulkham Hills would score on the way to a 3-2 victory. That pitch on the outside corner, late swing by Nick Chappell. 1 ball and 1 strike now. Correction, 2 strikes. I knew it'd be wrong. It always is. So 0-2 for Nick Chappell. And swings and misses. Another good pitch there by Leo Matsuo. Gets the second strikeout of the day. Nick Chappell down on strikes. That was Butler, 740. So Travis McDonald now, the current ABL player playing in second grade. Takes the first pitch from Leo Matsuo in for ball 1. Got all the gear out there, the face protector off the helmet, the left arm sleeve. Batting from the left hand side of the batter's box. Ball down for ball 2. That pitch straight back to Leo Matsuo on the mound. Light toss over to Ash Roberts at first, and that is the end of the top of the first. Leo Matsuo giving up 2 small infield hits for for a couple of runners on base, but no more damage other than that. And after the top of the first, we are even at 0-0. We'll bring you the lineups now for both teams. You saw the Baulkham Hillside leading things off with Tom Pello. He's starting at centre field. James Percival in left field. Tom Roberts at second base. Nick Chappell in right field. And Travis McDonald at first base. 4 players that played first grade on Wednesday night. Baulkham Hills obviously throwing as many weapons that they can at Manly today in second grade. Mitch Ellison's at third base. Jack Warwick's in the designated hitter role. Jet Davies backing up today after starting the 18. Starts here today. He's at shortstop, and Rowan North is doing the catching. Starting pitcher for the Baulkham Hillside is Mitch Inskip. And for your Manly Eagles, leading off, he's the shortstop. Bradley Zorn in right field. Batting 2 is Shohei Ariyama. Daniel Goodsill is in the 3-hole. He's at second base. Ben Sutton's the designated hitter today. Ash Roberts at first. Tom Butler doing the catching. Zach Newbold is backing up, doubling up into second grade. He's starting in left field. Adam O'Neill is in centre field. Trent Nickel back up into the second grade side. He is at third base, batting at the 9-hole. And on the mound, you saw Leo Matsuo, a couple of strikeouts and a comeback for the third out of that inning. Those lineups brought to you by Seventh Day Brewery and Raelia's Rail Glider. Thanks to our sponsors for their support during the 2020-2021 State League season. So after the top of the first, it's 0-0. So leading off for the Eagles is going to be the shortstop, Brad Zorn. And Mitch Inskip starts with a strike on Bradley Zorn. Skip not liking that ball. Can't be the ball's fault. You're going to be changing a lot of balls if you keep throwing balls and blaming on the ball. So 1 ball, no strikes for Brad Zorn. Correction, it was 0-1. Now it's 0-2 with that foul ball. Don't forget, if you are watching, can follow on Game Changer and get all the live stats as they happen. See how everyone in your teams are tracking. So if you head to GameChanger.com and look up Manly Eagles Baseball. That ball to the second baseman, over to first for the first out, and Brad Zorn is retired. First out of the inning. That's going to bring up Shohei Ariyama, the right fielder for the Eagles. If you are watching online, make sure you say g'day. Let us know that you're watching. Got any questions? Send them through. Find an answer for you somewhere. Ball fouled off out of play and into spectators just behind the fence. 1 ball and 2 strikes now for Ariyama. Now they're doing things a little bit differently here today, just due to the predicted rain that has come and gone so far today. Ariyama down on strikes, Mitch Inskip getting his second out of the inning, and then the catcher throwing it over the head of the third baseman. So 2 outs here now in the bottom of the first inning. We are calling the game from up on the balcony inside the clubhouse. So if it does rain, poor spectators don't really have anywhere to go except underneath. As all of our equipment takes up the majority of the space up on the balcony. And your Goodsall now steps up, takes strike one down. It has held up nicely despite the couple of showers that we have had today. Covers going on, coming off, and having to go back on again, down again. Which is Gift peppering that out low and outside corner. No balls, 2 strikes now. And Goodsall goes down on strike, so 3 quick outs for the Baulkham Hills defence. We'll be back with the top of the second, which Mitch Ellison, Jack Warwick and Jet Davis due up. Mitch Ellison leading things off. That ball hit to Adam O'Neill in centre field, just a shade to the left, out of camera shot over there. That's the first out here in the top of the second inning. Jack Warwick now the designated hitter, stepping in for the Baulkham Hills side. So starts the ball down. Wild one from Matsua, which he's prone to do at times. Thankfully this time without any runners on. Just a 4 games so far for Jack Warwick. 5 as a pitcher. His first plate appearance of the season, this would seem. Hits that one high and deep. It's going to go into the gap all the way to the fence. It's gone over the fence, so it's a home run to Jack Warwick. First at bat for the year. Thank you very much. It's going to be a home run. That's going to be the first run of this ball game for the Baulkham Hills side. Didn't think he hit it that hard, but he got enough on it and it sailed over the fence in left centre field for a home run. And it looks like they're giving him the silent treatment in the dugout. So one at bat, one hit, and that hits a home run, and it's 1-0 to the Baulkham Hills side. Swing and a miss by Jet Davis. Fouls that one off back to the back screen. First appearance in second grade for Jet Davis. Doubling up out of the 18s game and into this one today. Fouls that one off into the on-deck circle and into the Baulkham Hills dugout for strike 2. On ball and 2 strikes for the Baulkham Hills shortstop. At pitch. Straight back to Leo Matsuo. Off the mound, another soft toss over to first base. And that'll be the second out of the inning. They'll bring up the 9-hole hitter for the Baulkham Hills side, Rowan North. That one up. Daniel Goodsall tracking back for it. It'll fall into the second Bermuda Triangle for today. Daniel Goodsall couldn't get back to it. Adam O'Neill couldn't get into it. Shohei Ariyama in right field was too far away from it. And that's going to be a hit for Rowan North. I'll bring up Tom Pello for the second time today, so it's a hit for Rowan North. 2-out single. All appearances in second grade for Tom Pello. Fouls that one off into the screen for strike 1. Another big swing and miss. So Matsuo looking to finish this inning. He's ahead 0-2 on Tom Pello. Pello 2 for 12 in second grade. 2 walks and a strikeout. 2 RBIs to his name. Looking to extend this inning. But will strike out, so Leo Matsuo picks up strikeout number 3 on the afternoon. So after the top of the second, Baulkham Hills get the first run of the game. They lead 1-0. We'll come up with Ben Sutton, Ash Roberts and Tom Butler to start off the bottom of the second. Ben Sutton leading off in the bottom of the second inning. That Jim Skip starts in with a strike. Very efficient pitching so far from the Baulkham Hills starter. And drops that one into strike two, so working ahead nice and quickly, just what the Baulkham Hills side would have imagined. Punches that one into right field. Long run for the right fielder is going to get down for a base hit. Ben Sutton's aboard. Nick Chappell unable to run that one down. It's a base hit, first base hit of the day for the Manly Eagles. And Manly have their first base runner here in the bottom of the second. 6 appearances for Mitch Inskip on the year, 22 innings pitched. One loss charged to him. 28 hits, 15 runs, 14 of them earned. There's 10 walks, 17 strikeouts, and 3 hit batters with a 5.72 ERA. And Manly looking to capitalise here with the leadoff man on. 4, 5, 6 hitters coming up. 1 ball on the strike to Ash Roberts. That pitch down for ball 2. So 2-1 now for Ash. Fouls that one off, out of play. 2-2 now. Ball hit on the ground to the second baseman, Tom Roberts. Picks it up, makes the tag on Ben Sutton, throws it over to first base to get the second leg of the double play. So the leadoff hit erased on the double play off the bat of Ash Roberts. And I'll bring up the under 18s third baseman now, second grade catcher Tom Butler. Doing the duties behind the plate today with Brendan Haythwaite. Feeling a little bit sore, not able to throw. He's on the bench for the Eagles this afternoon. That pitch in there for strike 1. Mitch Inskip. 5 batters, 5 first pitch strikes. He's thrown 15 of his 18 pitches to strikes. That pitch finding the outside corner. So 0-2. 19 pitches so far for Inskip, 36 for Matsuo. Very efficient working by Mitch Inskip. Gets a swing out of Tom Butler, but he fouls it well out of play. Down to remain no balls and 2 strikes. There are ground outs. 2 strikeouts so far for Mitch Inskip. That pitch punched into right field. Nick Chappell can't make the catch, diving head first, and the second baseman Tom Roberts backing up out there, keeping Tom Butler to the single. So back-to-back singles into right field. And that brings Tom Butler up, not Tom Butler, Zach Newbold up to the plate. So Newbold's going to bat with 2 out. And straight away, Tom Butler is off and running, steals second base. Wild throw by Rowan North. Tom Butler, not the quickest of blokes out there, but gets the stolen base nonetheless. That pitch is in there for strike 1. A ball and a strike now for Zach Newbold. Manly with the runner in scoring position. Zach Newbold, very accomplished hitter. Jim Skip just wanting another check on the count. We've got 1-1. I think Jeff Pettit has 1-1. Newbold fouls that one off. It's now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Baulkham Hills, 1 run, 4 hits, no errors. Manly, no runs, 2 hits, no errors. 3 left on base by Baulkham Hills. Manly with a 0 in the left on base column. Chance here to tie the ball game up. That Newbold can find terra firma in the alley in the outfield. That pitch just missing on the outside edge for ball 2. 2-2 now. 2-2, 2 out, bottom of the second. 1-0 ball game. Pitch swung on and missed by Zach Newbold, so he can't drive in the tying run. He'll go down on strikes. That'll finish the second inning on the Pro Car Automotive scoreboard. Baulkham Hills lead your Manly Eagles 1-0. So it'll be James Percival to lead things off for the Baulkham Hills side here in the top of the third, had a 15-foot single in the top of the first inning, the first hit of the game, and Leo Matsuo fires in, strike one. No balls and one strike. And in there for strike two, so nice start by Leo here. Stay right on top of things. Got some minor league action on the back diamonds. And swing and a miss. Strike three. That's the first out here. Nice slider going away there. Matsuo. Well handled by Tom Butler. Picked it up cleanly. Didn't have to throw down the first. And that's the first out here in the in the top of the third inning. There goes the fourth strikeout of the afternoon. So we've got the Seasiders and Mosman. No, Seasiders. Seasiders team out there on Diamond 2, and then Diamond 3 it's Warringah Redbacks and the Mosman of the Wales. Seasiders versus Forest Wizards. Forest Wizards coached by long-time Manly baseballer Terry Hills, well travelled. Just some updates on the other minor league games that have been played today. The 1:30 time slot. The Renegades defeating the Manly Futures 4-1 for their 9th win of the season. Well done to the Futures for giving that a close ball game. As Tom Roberts walks here with one out. And we'll bring up Nick Chappell. Strike one for Chappell. Down the ball two. Strikeout victim in the first inning. There's the first inning. Run on, but Chappell unable to put the ball in play. Tom Roberts got to go back to first. After now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Ball two, so 2 balls now. And 2 strikes. Big pitch here coming from Matsuo. Wants a second out here if he can get it. He will get it. Good pitch, curveball high and going away across the zone. Gets Chappell to strike out for the second time today. I'm going to bring up Travis McDonald. Travis McDonald lifts that ball into right field. Shohei Ariyama runs it down. That's the third out here in the top of the third. We'll head to the bottom with Adam O'Neill, Trent Nicol and Brad Zorn to bat when we return. Adam O'Neill leading things off here, bottom of the third. Mitch Inskip still out on the mound, throws pitch number 28. Missed for ball one. Punches that one, but straight at Tom Roberts at second base. And that'll be the first out here in the bottom of the third. Trent Nicol now steps up, batting in the 9-hole this afternoon. Back in the side with David Yu out for the rest of the season. A pitch in there for strike. We're just asking for time. Just keep taking a little bit too long up on the mound for PJ's liking. Pitches gets away. On ball, 2 strikes now for Trent Nicol. Turn the over order and get only 2, 3, 4 bats in action in this inning. Lifts that one up into left field. An easy catch out there for James Percival in left field. That'll be the second out here in the bottom of the third inning. So it'll be up to Brad Zorn to continue things here. That's with 2 out. Skip starts with a strike. for ball one, so 1 ball and a strike. Up and away for ball 2, so 2 and 1. It's all very patient up there. How's that one into right field? Running over it is Travis McDonald, makes a catch in foul territory. So 3 quick outs for Mitch in skip. And that'll end the 3rd inning on the Pro Car Automated scoreboard. It's Baulkham Hills 1, Manly 0. Mitch Ellison leading things off for the Baulkham Hills side in the top of, I believe it's the 4th. Yes, it is. Top of the 4th. Thanks, Brooke Russell. On the scoreboard today, the in-ground scoreboard. We've got Andrew Logue alongside me, looking after everything else. First pitch. And Liam Matsuo's away for ball 1. Dragging across the zone a little bit. Ball 2 rather. Brought the PlayStation up today just in case we did have any rather lengthy delays. Started a game of golf and then 3rd grade got back underway, so I'm playing at one hole at a time in between innings. That pitch from Matsuo is in for strike 1, 2 balls and a strike now. And that's in there for strike 2. Nice slider there from Matsuo. And we'll fill the count up at 3 and 2. So full count here to the leadoff man, Mitch Ellison. Important Leo Matsuo retires him. Got Jack Warwick waiting on deck. And it is here for strike 3. Curveball. Mitch Ellison thought it was ball 4, but it breaks in and across the zone. Great pitch there by Leo Matsuo. He's really improved on that this season. And a lot more efficient with his pitching than the last couple of years. And then his punch out number 6. That's the first out here. I'll bring up Jack Warwick. Home run, his last at bat, which is his first at bat of the season. Been used predominantly as a pitcher in 2nd grade. Say hello to Benjamin Logue, watching online, getting his vocal cord ready to cover the first grade game tonight. Much to Andrew Logue shaking his head, but Ben Logue did promise me he's going to be up here. Strike 2 there to Jack Warwick. Very disappointed if not up here, Benjamin. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Jack Warwick. Yeah, very big out of Leo Matsuo. Oh, check swing off the hands. Matsuo picks it up, fires it up to first base to Ash Roberts, and that's the second out here in the top of the 4th inning. Well executed. Bit of pitches fielding there by Leo Matsuo. Ties the very dangerous Jack Warwick. Great camera work by our camera operator to make sure that out was captured. Now bring up the 8-hole hitter, Jet Davis. Second start for today. Punches that ball, but Dan Goodsall's right there, makes the catch, and nice quick 3 outs there by Leo Matsuo. Gets Manly defence off the field, and the Eagles will come up to bat in the bottom of the 4th with Shohei Ariyama, Daniel Goodsall and Ben Sutton due up. Mitvinsky back out for his 4th inning of work. Bottom of the 4 here. 1-0 ball game. Baulkham Hills 1 run on 4 hits. No errors. Manly no runs, 2 hits, no errors. Baulkham Hills with 4 left on. Manly with 1 left on. Mitvinsky 3 innings so far with 2 hits, 3 strikeouts. 28 is 37 pitches for strikes. Away for ball 1. 1 ball and 2 strikes now for Leo Matsuo. Shohei Ariyama, in fact. That pitch just missing in the top of the zone. Ball 2. 2 and 2. A little bit further away than normal. It looked like it could have been called strike 3, but Shohei Ariyama just patient enough to see it in for a ball. There's a sumo squat at the plate by Ariyama. Something new that we haven't seen before. How's that one off to the back net? 2 balls and 2 strikes. Number 6 about to come in here for the man they call Showtime. Just to send us a message if you are watching online. Any questions, shoot them through. We'll try and get them answered for you. Thank you for joining us. Another 2-2 for Ariyama. Get this inning started by getting himself on base, whichever way he can, whether through the walk or whether through the base hit. And there, 4-3, good hands, good eyes, laid back on that one. There's the count up, 3 balls and 2 strikes. There's your pitch from in skip. Fouls it off. See another one into his pitch. Number 9. It does go down on strikes. Ariyama not able to start things here for the Eagles in the bottom of the 4th. First out here. Balls and 1 strike for Daniel Goodsell. There's that one off for 0-2. 9 now. Big thanks to Stockler Hesse for getting me the 10 under the card at it. Nice 280-metre drive right up the middle of the fairway on the 18. Like I do 2 or 3 times during the week. And just pops that one up. Travis McDonald coming after it, sliding into the fence, able to make the catch, so he could get another chance to get himself forward. So 0-2 the count for Goodsell. And that pitch on the outside corner, 4 strike 3. Daniel Goodsell didn't like it. And that's the second out here. Ben Sutton was bat here with 2 outs. Started with the ball down the lower part of the zone. Punches that one, but only towards Tom Roberts, who will come in and make the short toss. And Ben Sutton will be retired, and that'll be the 3rd out. So on the Procar Automotive scoreboard, score will remain Baulkham Hills 1, Manly 0. Liam Masua back on the mound for innings number 5. Rowan North leading things off for the Baulkham Hills side. And a big swing and miss, strike 2, no balls, 2 strikes. So just commanding the zone. Oh, sorry, correction, 1 ball, 1 strike. Yeah. 4 strike 2. Recap of scores around the grounds earlier today in the 18s. Here Aquatic, it was Baulkham Hills 12, defeating Manly 7. Strike 3 in the outside corner. Great pitch there by Leo Matsuo. Got a couple of his victims out there today, and that is another one. Strikeout number 7. Canterbury defeating Ryde 9-3, and Cronulla defeating Central Coast 7-6. As Tom Pello tries to bunt his way on, but that one gets foul. No score recorded from Greater Western and MacArthur. The game would have just been finishing up out there at Andrews Road. In third grade, Baulkham Hills 3 defeating Manly 2. Canterbury 7 defeating Ryde 0. And Cronulla 8 defeating Central Coast 1. Penrith and MacArthur will do battle tomorrow. That pitch in there for ball 2, so 2 balls and a strike for Tom Pello. And then in the second grade games underway, that's ELS and up on the Central Coast. The swing and miss by Tom Pello for strike 2. Canterbury Ryde 0-0, bottom of the first. Cronulla and Central Coast 0-2 in favour of the Central Coast. That game in the top of the second, where 1-0 here in the top of the fifth. It did start an hour earlier than those other 2 games. Strike 3 again, outside corner. Leo Matsuo just absolutely locating today, keeping Manly in this 1-0 ball game. Hello tried to bunt his way on and then struck out. That'll bring up James Percival. Did a great job here if Leo Matsuo can get the number 2 hole hitter out and bring up 3, 4, 5 in the 6th inning. Strike 1 there, 2. James Percival. 8th strikeout for the day. For Matsuo, correction, that's his 7th. Swing and miss by James Percival there. 1 ball, 2 strikes now. Matsuo 1 strike away from finishing this top of the 5th. The Manly bats back in action as we enter the second hour of this ball game. That's lifted high. Long run for Zach Newbold, but he gets there to make the catch. So that is the 3rd out. We finish the top of the 5th. We head to the bottom. It's going to be Ash Roberts, Tom Butler and Zach Newbold to bat, with Manly trailing 1-0. Pitcher's going inning for inning at the moment with Michinski back out for his 5th inning. Just trying to confirm the official start time of this game. Looks like it was around 3:18. Just over an hour and 10 minutes into the game now. 1 ball and 1 strike for Ashley Roberts. Ball 2 out wide. So 2 and 1. And they're looking for their first run of the ball game. Michinski has put in a very good performance so far, limiting the Eagles to only the 2 hits. And a big swing and miss on that 2-1 pitch. Evens the count at 2 and 2. Tom Butler waiting on deck, hoping to get a chance. He will get a chance in this one. Hoping he'll be batting with the runner on base in the form of Ashley Roberts. Ash Roberts though punches that one into right field. We're going to have a play over here at first base. And Ash Roberts isn't going to be able to beat out the throw by Nick Chappell. Good bit of defensive work by the Baulkham Hills right fielder. Ash Roberts getting jammed on their hands. Pushing the ball into shallow right field. Chappell coming down, picking it up, throwing it on the first. And it's a very rare 9-3 for the first out here in the bottom of the 5th. Nothing you can do about that. So it will be Tom Butler of the bat, but nobody on base. It's his turn to try and start something here. That pitch up for ball 1. Swing and a miss. On ball and a strike. So I'm called by either the batter or the umpire. I think it might have been the batter, Tom Butler. Ball hit to shallow second base, picked up on the scoop by Tom Roberts and thrown over to first for the second out. So very effective defense by the Baulkham Hills side here, restricting what Manly can do with the bat. We'll bring up Zach Newbold. Batting with 2 out. Max fouls that one off. Strike 1, no balls and 1 strike. Slightly soft precipitation has come across the ground again. Strike 2 for Zach Newbold. It's in there for strike 3, so Mitch Inskip through 5 innings, only 2 runs, only 2 hits given up. And on the Procar Automotive scoreboard after 5 innings, it's Baulkham Hills 1, then the Eagles 0. Tom Roberts striking out there. Another strikeout victim for Leo Matsuo. We'll bring up Nick Chappell, the right fielder, made that spectacular play to retire Ash Roberts in the bottom of the 5th inning. We're here in the 6th. It's a 1-run ball game. Baulkham Hill, 1 run, 4 hits, no errors. 4 runners left on. Manly, no runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 1 runner left on. And a very strong performance by Mitchell Inskip on the mound, only allowing 2 Manly hits, striking out 6 along the way. 63 pitches, 47 for strikes, 12 of the first 16, 12 of the 16 batters he has faced. He has thrown strike 1, 2. Leo Matsuo about to throw pitch number 80, 52 of them for strikes so far. Pretty good numbers by both pitchers. Nick Chappell singles that into right field. Shohei Ariyama won't be able to do the same to Nick Chappell that Nick Chappell did to Ash Roberts, and that'll be a 1-out single for the Baulkham Hills right fielder. And we'll bring up the first baseman, Travis McDonald. As time is called, and looks like Chappell's got a bit of an injury. Looks like they're going to make a change here with Chappell coming out of the game. Wait to hear what that change is over there. I'll get back to the action here. It's going to be Travis McDonald to hit. Will Edwards is the pinch runner, lead-off man for the under-18s team. He'll take over essentially in right field. No. Out for ball 1 ball and 1 strike. So we're looking for a quick inning here, get out of danger. Pitch going to be punched into right field. Shohei Ariyama's after it. Takes a bit of a bad bounce, but doesn't get too far away from him. Sitting up there in the longish grass, a bit damp as well. So off the hands of Travis McDonald into shallow right field. That'll be back-to-back singles for the Baulkham Hillside. Runners on first and second now, threatening to extend their lead here in the 6th inning. Have an official game on our hands for 1 hour minimum, having passed some time ago, and that will be a hit by pitch. So Mitch Ellison hit in the leg, and Manly in a little bit of trouble now with Jack Warwick coming to the plate. Already has 1 big home run to his name. He's going to bat with the bases loaded. Hopefully he can put his side out to an extended lead. Leo Matsuo. Looking for the strike zone. First pitch to Jack Warwick is away for ball one. And a wild pitch from Leo Matsuo will allow it'll allow Will Edwards to come across the plate and score a very important second run here for the Baulkham Hills side. Not necessarily a bad thing. Does give the Manly side first base open. They want to pitch around Jack Warwick here. Simon Loud's going to come out. No, not quite yet. Did start walking out of the dugout, but walks back into the dugout. Jack Warwick, 1 for 2 today with a home run and a ground out. And Leo finds, looks like a strike from here, but he said ball, so maybe it was on the inside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 3-0 now. Definitely wouldn't be throwing this pitch at Jack Warwick. I'll be fluttering the 4 fingers, putting him on base. Swings at the big 3-1 pitch. A big 3-0 pitch rather. 3 balls and 1 strike now. Yeah, Matsuo needs to hold his nerve to get this out. It's away for 4-4, so not the worst outcome there. Could have been a lot worse had he thrown one straight down the pipe and Jack Warwick got all of it again for the second time today. Puts the double play back in order. Corners will be drawn in. Dan Goodsall and Brad Zorn will play back for the double play. And that brings up Jet Davis. Shortstop. Swing and a miss there by Davis. And they're looking for a pitcher's best friend in the form of a double play. Baulkham Hills looking for more runs. They lead this game now 2-0 as we head to the final part of this ball game. That pitch hits to TJ, throws it home. Wild throw over the head of Tom Butler. It's going to allow a second run to score. Baulkham Hills get 2 across. And Trent Nicol unable to make that play. Baulkham Hills getting 2 off the play. Both Travis McDonald and Mitch Ellison come in to score. Jack Warwick moves up to third base. And Jet Davis will reach on the error. Will reach on the fielder's choice and then move up to second base on the error. Bring up a number 9 hole hitter, Rowan North. So things unravelling for the Eagles here. Leo Matsuo had been looking good, but his pitch count has been high all game, up to 91 pitches now. And there isn't anyone in the bullpen warming up for the Eagles. Comes in with a strike to Rowan North. Strike 1. Taylor-made double play there. Trent Nicol just letting the ball sail out of his hands. That's the problem when it gets slippery and that grass is a little bit longer than what it has been and what it normally is. Swing and a miss there by Rowan North. So Leo Matsuo in control now. No balls and 2 strikes. One big double play ball away from getting out of this jam. Got the lead-off hitter, Tom Pello, waiting on deck. That pitch down in the dirt, but well blocked by Tom Butler. One ball and 2 strikes now for the 9-hole hitter North. And the infield drawn in, which was misses outside, 2-2 the count. Seventh game for Rowan North this year in second grade, 4 for 18 with 3 singles and a double. Has driven in 3. Has struck out 6 times, so definitely the matchup that Leo Matsuo is looking for. Looking for the second out here in the top of the 6th. Pitch just over the head at the body of North, but he ducks out and it gets over his head. The ball 3, so once again the count is full, 3-2. Still no one warming up for the Eagles. Could potentially be Brad Zorn come on and pitch. If Leo Matsuo can't get this job done here. Jake Murphy was listed on the lineup, or he may have been an option. That pitch, straight back to Leo. Throws it home, no play, keeps the runner there. Tom Butler looking at second base. Doesn't get the out there. Tom Butler gets the ball back from Brad Zorn. Lack of communication, I can only think, out there by the fielders. Leo Matsuo went home. It wasn't a false play. Tom Butler tried to chase the runner back to second. All he had to do was hold on to the ball, let the runner get back to second, leave the bases loaded, but it is another run for the Baulkham Hills side. They now lead 5-0 here. They are now in big trouble. Matsuo unaware of the situation, it would have seemed. Approaching 100 pitches. Pitch missing for ball 2. On the outside corner, forward strike. 2 balls and 1 strike now. He's the leadoff man, Tom Pello. Going for the 4th time today, 3 strikeouts, so wild pitch from Matsuo. Someone just needs to go out there and have a talk to him. It hasn't been a coaching visit yet, despite giving up the 4 runs in this inning. Another wild pitch from Matsuo. He must be very tired. He's just thrown his 99th pitch. And that is going to be ball 4 to Tom Pello. So bases loaded once more, and Simon Loud is now going to come out and have a chat to Leo Matsuo. So we'll wait and see what happens with this visit to the mound. Baulkham Hills have put up a 4 spot. They lead 5-0 here in the top of the 6th. Over 100 pitches now. 3 and 2 the count to James Percival. And he gets the swing on the outside corner. It's the second time Percival's chased that pitch out there. And he goes down on strikes. So it's the second strikeout for Percival today. He's 1 for 4. 10th strikeout for the day for Leo Matsuo. 108 pitches now for Leo Matsuo. Brings up Tom Roberts, who's 1 for 2, walk and a strikeout. No pitch in there for strike 2, so no balls and 2 strikes now. Matsuo 1 out away from getting out of this. He's already given up the 4 runs. Doesn't get Tom Roberts to swing at that one. Will Edwards, next man up for the Baulkham Hills side if Tom Roberts can finish his at bat positively. That one punched into shallow centre field, and it will be Brad Zorn tracking back for it. They do get the third out finally, but it's not before Baulkham Hills break this game open. They scored 4 in the top of the 6th, and it's Manly with plenty to do here. Baulkham Hills 5 lead the Manly Eagles 0. So it'll be Adam O'Neill to lead things off with the 8-9-1 hitters to bat here for the Eagles in the bottom of the 6th. 5 runs to chase down. Disappointing finish to that 6th inning for the Eagles. So his bumper pulls it away. It was the home run of Jack Warwick that was the difference in this game for a long time, but now 4th inning has Manly behind 5-0. Baulkham Hills 5 runs on 6 hits, no errors, and 4 left on. Manly no runs, 2 hits, 1 error, and 1 left on base. That's up to ball 2, so 2 balls, no strikes to Adam O'Neill. And Kaczynski is back out for his 6th inning of work. Time he has no correction. The second time he's gone into the 6th inning. First time was back in November 8 against the White Hawks. Started that game, went 6 innings, but no decision. Adam O'Neill takes that pitch low. Wasn't quite happy with it. Skip giving up 3 runs, both all earned on 5 hits, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, and a hit by pitch. Adam O'Neill pulls that one into left field. Good bit of hitting there by the Manly centre fielder. Is this the start of something big for the Eagles? They look to climb back from this 5-0 deficit. And we'll bring up third baseman Trent Nicol. Unfortunately, couldn't execute the play home on the ground ball that came his way. And it was the start of the rot for the Eagles. They gave up further 2 more runs, allowing Baulkham Hills to skip out to a 5-0 lead. Play here in the 6th. Trent Nicol spread the bump, pulled out of it, and then gets hit in the back for his troubles. All while we were on the wrong camera. And I'll turn the lineup over for Brad Zorn. 2 runners on, nobody out. Nobody warming up in the bullpen for the Baulkham Hills side. I would anticipate the option would be to go to Jack Warwick, given that he is a DH and he has pitched in 5 games so far this year. So Zorn gets after the first pitch, pops it up. Only as far as the right fielder there in Will Edwards, who makes the catch. Pitcher struggling on the mound. Brad Zorn gets after the first pitch he sees, but it wasn't the best pitch. And it's turned out to the first out of this bottom of the 6th inning. Shohei Ariyama steps in. Down in the dirt. Looking like he might be a little bit tired. It's 3 straight balls. 3 balls he's thrown for the last 4 hitters on the first pitch. And in there for strike 1. So 1 ball and 1 strike in the count. Adam O'Neill standing at second base. He's going to get a chance to score Manly's first run. And just needing some offense here as this game enters the final half an hour. And that's strike 2 in the outside corner. So 1 and 2 now for Ariyama. Asking for a new baseball. We'll catch it through it away from him on the return throw. Shouldn't be allowed to do that if it's your own fault. Deal with it. We'll have the first grade kicking off. First grade kicking off at around 5:30, maybe a little bit after, as the first game of the 18th ran a little bit late. We pushed back the rest of the day's schedule. See how quickly this one does finish. Still unsure of the exact starting time as mentioned by the umpires at the start of the game. Scores have it down at 3:18, but they informed me that wasn't the time that the umpires made it as official. And that is a strikeout to Mitch Inskip, getting Shohei Ariyama looking on the third strike. So big hole here now for the Eagles. They're down 2 out. They still have 2 runners on. Pitch on the outside corner for strike 1. Floats in the curveball, does Mitch Inskip. A lot of velocity on it. Just floated it over the corner. Strike one. Pulls that one down the third base side to the third baseman. Picks it up, steps on the base. O'Neill is retired on the fielder's choice. And that will end the sixth inning. So Baulkham Hills with a commanding 5-0 lead on the Procar Automotive scoreboard. Will Edwards to lead things off here, top of the seventh. And we have a pitching change with Brad Zorn onto the mound. And Yuki Mizutani comes in to play shortstop. Ben Sutton's afternoon is over. That pitch hits Dan Goodsall at second base, picks it up, throws it across the diamond, goes across the infield to Ash Roberts at first base, and that's two pitches and one nice quick out from Brad Zorn. We'll have Yuki Mizutani to hit in Ben Sutton's spot in the 4-hole. He will lead off the bottom half of this seventh inning. And we'll bring up Travis McDonald. One of the three with the runs scored so far today. Up for ball one. So the book closed on Leo Matsuo. Workhorse effort from him. 113 pitches thrown, 68 of them for strikes, or 600, so 60%. Giving up 5 runs, 4 earned off 6 hits. With an incredible 10 strikeouts and 3 walks. Unfortunately, it was the fielding error and the miscue of his own that hurt him in the end. Why he leaves his game with 5 runs, 4 runs charged against his name. Strikeout there for Travis McDonald. So 2 quick outs for Brad Zorn, getting the job done. That's the 11th strikeout of the day for the Eagles pitching. And we'll bring up third baseman Mitch Ellison. 0-2 today with a walk. Takes 4-1. Zorn pumps that one in there for strike 2. Could be heading to us. No, just on the roof above us. That was straight at our first base angle camera. Bounces over the back of the roof and into the car park. Hopefully it didn't hit my car. 1-1 now for Ellison. Pumps in the fast ball, pops it up. Brad Zorn, the shortstop, going after it. Catches it. On the right-hand side, correct, Brad Zorn is the pitcher, but he's also a very competent shortstop. And he does what good shortstops do and makes the catch. So 3 up, 3 down for the Eagles. Big job for them to do. They trail 5-0, heading to the bottom of the 7th. So Yuki Mizutani was the defensive change with the pitching change, taking Brad Zorn onto the mound. So Mizutani came in for Ben Sutton. And he'll take his spot in the lineup in the 4-hole, leading off here, batting from the left-hand side of the home plate. We can start something here. Manly trailing 5-0 here in the bottom of the 7th. The only reason we don't go to the 8th if Manly bat long here, hopefully they bat long enough to score the 6 runs. We've got about 10 or 12 minutes remaining on the clock. Punches that ball to the shortstop, picks it up, does Jet Davis, and throws across the diamond for the first out of the inning. Mizutani goes down on the ground ball. And it brings up Ash Roberts. And there is a pitching change for the Baulkham Hillside. On the mound now is Will Edwards, who comes in from right field to replace Mitchell Inskip, who did an amazing job on the mound for the Baulkham Hillside. 6 innings, 77 pitches. So, very good economy. Just on just under 13 pitches an inning. 71% of them for strikes. Ash Roberts rips that ball into left field. So, the Eagles have got a base runner here in the form of Ash Roberts. I need plenty more of them if they're to close out this 5-0 deficit. Only 3 hits off the pitching of Mitch Inskip, 7 strikeouts. 55 of his 77 pitches worth of strikes. Got 3 ground outs, 6 flyouts, and 14 of the 21 batters he faced. He threw a first pitch strike too, so good outing by Mitch Inskip. We'll certainly see his ERA drop down from 5.7. But now it's Will Edwards' turn. Coach is going to be looking for something similar. Shut down this Manly offense. Tom Butler takes the first pitch he sees up for ball 1. And that wild pitch gets over the top. Ash Roberts moving up to second on the wild pitch. Why you have to come back? So Will Edwards on the mound, 2 balls here to Tom Butler, and they're looking to get some offense going, at least get off the big 0 that they are currently facing. That pitch up and in, 3 balls and no strikes. Well, the Mills do have Jack Warwick up their sleeve if Will Edwards can't get it done. That pitch called a strike on the outside corner. Tom Butler thought he had ball 4, but Jeff Pettit says, no way, man, get back here, that's strike 1. No way, man. Don't you dare try and walk off on me. Zach Newbold waiting on deck. Straight back at the pitcher, but the shortstop, Jet Davis, too far away from from second base to get Ash Roberts. And that was more out of self-preservation than anything, making that catch. And that'll be the first out. Tom Butler obviously not happy, but that's just the way that it's been for the Eagles today. We'll bring up Zach Newbold. Straight down the middle there for strike 1. No balls and 1 strike. That ball gets away from the catch. It'll be a wild pitch. Ash Roberts moves up for 90 feet to third base. Zach Newbold struck out twice so far today. Pitch down at the ankles in the dirt. Ball 2, 2 balls and a strike. Back near Bob. Pulls that one down to the third baseman. Ellison picks it up. Nice strong throw across the diamond. And won't beat him out, and that we'll see another 0 put up on the scoreboard by the Baulkham Hills defence. We will head to the 8th. Baulkham Hills 5, Manly Eagles 0. Jack Warwick leading things off for the Baulkham Hills side here. Top of the 8th. They put up a big 0 here and hope that they can rally and score the 6 runs that they're going to need to win this ball game. Big ask, but not impossible. We'll have the first great game kicking off 15 minutes at the completion of this one. Fouls that one off into the mask of the umpire Jeff Pettit. Going square in the face. Jack Warwick apologising, but obviously not his fault. Blame the pitcher for throwing it. Blame the catcher for not catching it. Blame the umpire for not ducking out of the way quick enough. End of the day, everyone's responsible, but no one's responsible. Everyone's responsible, but no one's at fault. Jack Warwick at bat will continue. That little break, that was just alright. Down for ball 1. Ball on 2 strikes now. that one. Hit hard, but it's going to get out of play. Swing on it by Jack Warwick. Pitch fouled off again, so Jack Warwick proven to be a tough out. Two runs and a walk. The big one in the hit column is his home run. He's just getting down in the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Going to get the swing out of Warwick on that occasion. And won't get the swing on that occasion either was on. So feels the count up at 3-2. Those great boys getting in there. Final warm-up preparations. Game about 20 minutes to half an hour away yet. Maybe longer. So Butler calling it. Can't catch it. The ball will fall foul. Jack Warwick will get another chance. Couple of days behind the plate, Tommy Butler. Long day for him with the under 18s game this morning. And that will be ball 4. So Jack Warwick draws the lead-off walk. Long first at bat. Top of the 8th. And they're trailing 5-0 for the final inning of this 7th grade game. In the first place, Manly Eagles. In the second place, Baulkham Hills Kookaburras. That's all things down for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Ball 2. 2-0 now. On the outside corner for strike 1. So the ball's on a strike now. Got him over there at first base. Great pick off by Brad Zorn. Retires the walk that he gave up to start this inning. And that's one way to get him out. We have now had a Manly pick off in all 3 grades today. Max Milder getting one in 18s. Dean Story getting one in 3rd grade. And now Brad Zorn getting one here today in 2nd grade. Not something you see every day. See what happens in the 1st grade game. And Jed Davis takes that pitch on the outside corner for strike 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes now for the Baulkham Hills shortstop. Fouls that one out of play. Out towards the car park. Manly hit the road for the next 2 weeks against Canterbury next week, and then Macarthur the following week, and then at home for the final round of the State League competition. Just that one straight back to Brad Zorn, runs it over to Ash Roberts at first base to make the out, and that is the second out here in the top of the 8th inning. Brad Zorn getting it done. There's a walk, a pick off, and then a ground ball. 2 outs here in the top of the 8th. Ball 1 to Rowan North. And then our final home round of the season, correction, is going to be MacArthur, then Canterbury. MacArthur next week, then Canterbury the following week, and then Ryde. Round 18, Wednesday the 24th, and Saturday the 27th. Wednesday the 24th will be our Legends round, Legends Day round. Former players and the Eagles former players. And then Saturday the 27th will be our final round of the season. Will our 18s and 2nd grade, 18s and 3rd grade be battling for the last spot in the finals, or will be 2nd grade just fine-tuning things for their final run? We'll wait and find out, see what transpires over the next 3 weeks. Crunch numbers during the week and find out what the chances are of 18s and 3s making it, but first grade are definitely locked in. It's just a matter of where they're going to finish. For Richmond on the ground. So ball and 2 strikes now, 2 balls and 2 strikes now for Rowan North. One for 3 in the day with an RBI and a strikeout. Strike 3 by Brad Zorn. Gets the curveball, Rowan North. Started to duck out of the way, but it drops in there. Good finish by Brad Zorn. It's a clean inning in the end after tying to walk on the pickoff. Manly, 6 runs to win this one in the bottom of the 8th, and return. They trail the Baulkham Hills Kookaburras 5-0. For Baulkham Hills, Tom Roberts comes to the mound from second base. Tom Stančić comes into play second base for Tom Roberts, and Will Edwards goes back out to right field. Jack Warwick out of the game. and O'Neill do things off. That ball's going to get out of play, send everyone into foul territory, and then they'll have another chance to get himself aboard here. Manly Eagles netting 6 for the win here. An improbable win, but not unlikely, not impossible, rather. The way the Baulkham Hills side have pitched today has been very good. Baulkham Hills 5 runs on 6 hits, no errors. Manly no runs, 4 hits, still 1 error. Baulkham Hills with 7 left on, Manly with 4. Baulkham Hills striking out 12 times, Manly with 7. Manly was dominant with the ball, Baulkham Hills taking advantage when they've had base runners on. Manly unable to do so. All walks for the Baulkham Hills hitters, no walks offered by Baulkham Hills pitchers. Got the pitch hit to the shortstop, picks it up, Jeff Davis throws it across, first out here, and the bottom of the 8th inning. We will have the first grade game for you 15 minutes after the completion of this. It'll be close to 5 to 6 maybe. And we'll have a pinch hitter in the form of Brendan Haythwaite. He's going to hit for Trent Pickle. In there for strike 1. Vaughan Harris starting on the mound for the Eagles in the first grade. It'll be Zach Helby starting on the mound for the Baulkham Hills Kookaburras. Fouled away. Two strikes to Brendan Haythwaite. Pinch hitter to Trent Nickel. Bred's all waiting on deck. Punches that ball into centre field. Lining out there for the centre fielder who makes the grab. Tom Fellow out there, and that's the second out here. So Baulkham Hills 1-0 away from wrapping up a very hard earned 5-0 victory. Back to the top of the lineup for Brad Thorne. That one hit in the centre field again. Tom Pello will make the final 2 outs of this game, and that is all she wrote here. 5-0, the Baulkham Hills Kookaburras had defeated the Manly Eagles. Mitchell Inskip was great on the mound, 6 innings pitched, 77 pitches in total, only 3 hits, 7 strikeouts. Will Edwards came on with 1 inning of relief. Tom Roberts closing it out. Leo Matsura was also very handy on the mound, but the pitch count got him in the end. Tied towards the end, 6 innings pitch, 113 pitches, 68 of them for strikes, 5 runs, 4 earned on 6 hits, 3 walks, 1 home run to Jack Warwick, and 10 strikeouts. Baulkham Hills striking out 12 times to Manly 7, but it was 4 walks to the Baulkham Hills hitters that gave Baulkham Hills the opportunity to score the extra runs. That completes his second grade game. Big thanks to Andrew Lowe. I'm Luke Eisenhower. Join us in about 20 minutes when we get the main game underway. In first grade, Manly Eagles against the Baulkham Hills Kookaburras. Good afternoon.